So we got Dash Robots here. You're sketching. You're on this side. Scratch Junior over there, and then B-Bots in the corner with the nice lounge furniture and the bees.
It is beyond a pleasure, It is beyond a pleasure to be here in your school and in your community. My name is Dave. I am 6'5", but I am not a Celtic or a former Celtic, so I'll save you all the question. But I do have one of the coolest jobs in the world. My job is to work with the Celtics and bring our players and our former players out there into the community to hang out with wonderful people like yourselves. So we are really excited to be able to do that today. We are in a brand new renovated space, which I would want nothing more than to have installed in my house. So hopefully we can figure out a way to make that work someday. But for the time being, this is a donation for you all, a brand new technology and STEM lab, courtesy of the Celtics and our friends right up the street at Southern New Hampshire University. So let's give everyone involved a big round of applause. So I'm going to introduce a few special guests in the room so that we know who is who, and then we're going to get going and we're going to get started with an activity. And you all are already sitting at your activity stations, so we're going to get a chance to use some of the equipment that we are unveiling today for you all to use. And you are the first group of students to ever get a chance to be inside this room and use this equipment, and you were chosen for a reason. So congratulations to all the students today for being chosen. So I want to introduce, first and foremost, our friends from Southern New Hampshire University. There's a bunch of Southern New Hampshire University folks here today. It was a very short drive for them. Representing Southern New Hampshire University in SNHU Blue is Kathy. Can you say hi to Kathy over there? Say hey, Kathy. Hey, Kathy, thanks so much for being here. We're going to get a chance to hear from you in a few minutes. We have your assistant superintendent here from Manchester Public Schools here, Amy Allen. Amy, thank you so much for being here. And then outside the door, I have the greatest athlete in the history of the Boston Celtics organization and the greatest shooter in the history of the Boston Celtics organization, maybe even NBA history. I can't wait to get a chance to introduce you to them. Do you all want to get to meet them? Yeah. That is so weak. Do you want to get to meet them? Yeah! All right. So, the greatest athlete in the history of the Boston Celtics organization has never scored a point. He is our mascot, and he is a gymnast, and he is a dunk champion, a gold medal winner. Give it up for Lucky! So I told them, Lucky, that you were the greatest athlete in the history of the Boston Celtics organization, and I need you to make sure that they know that I'm not starting out by lying to them.
Okay,
And so
I
can
know
you do something really athletic? Can anyone else in the room do
I
that?
bet some of them probably can.
Anyone else do that? No? Okay. All right, we'll work on that a little bit. The second guest we have is, I mentioned, he's the greatest shooter in the history of the Boston Celtics organization. And that is not an award that's given, it's my opinion, but it is certainly a privilege to be able to get a chance to work with someone every single day who grew up in Boston, went to Boston College, was an All-American basketball player, All-American football player in high school, stayed in Boston, had an awesome career at Boston College, as I mentioned, then was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics, who moved into the Oklahoma City Thunder, some of you may all know now, and played for a bunch of NBA teams over the course of 14 seasons, including a whole bunch of seasons with the Boston Celtics right here at home in New England. He was an NBA All-Star, one of the greatest shooters to ever walk this planet. My good friend, Dana Barrows. Come on in here, Dana. So,
I didn't know I was all that.
how about that introduction?
Practice
So
that, right?
So they're all thinking, man, how are you so short and you played in the NBA, right? So Dana overcame a whole bunch. We're going to get a chance to hear from Dana in a few minutes. And then we might have another special guest coming that might be stuck in some traffic in a few minutes. So we'll introduce him when he arrives. But before we get started, I want to turn it over to Principal Bolak and Amy, Assistant Superintendent Amy, just to kind of welcome us all formally on behalf of the school. We are in your house, so I want to do that really quickly, and then we'll have a couple remarks from Kathy, which I will ask Kathy a question, and then we'll get going with everything.
All right, thank you. I just first want to thank the Celtics and Southern New Hampshire University for making this happen. With the support of Jenny Lynch, who is an assistant principal here, she's done an amazing job organizing and orchestrating all of the supplies that we've got here today. We're really excited to use some STEM in this building and get moving into the 21st century, working with our collaboration skills and being able to these new whiteboard tables where we can plan and create, so using our critical thinking mind. So again, thank you for having us. We're thrilled.
Thanks, Principal, for being here. Assistant Superintendent.
Sure, before I go, I want to introduce some special guests that are here with us. Virtually the Mayor of Manchester, Mayor Craig, who's here. Over here we have board member Leslie Watts, board member O'Shea, board member Arthur Beaudry, and board member Peter Barrett. So again, on behalf of the district, we're really excited for this opportunity to have the first Southern New Hampshire Celtics lab in an elementary school. We have 4 great labs at our middle schools, so Green Acres is leading the way. And thank you very much.
Thanks so much. So before we get started, we're going to get into some of the engaging activities, and we're going to get some time to be able to talk to Dana and talk to Lucky and all that stuff. I wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to hear from Kathy on behalf of all of her colleagues. And so, Kathy, this is the 13th technology lab, STEM lab, that we've unveiled together. Aside from them looking better and better every time, the technology has changed so rapidly over the course of the last 6 or so years, 7 years since we started these. When we first started doing them, it was a whole bunch of computers. And now, I don't see any computers. I see some tablets, I see some robots, I see some really cool things in here that are going to be part of the learning process. And I know that the technology wave is really important to folks at SNHU. Talk a little bit about what you see in your students doing, using technology, and how it's aiding their education now, and how this might fit into what they're going to be learning in this room today, and much more importantly, for many months and years beyond. Let's give it up for Kathy.
Thank you. So, my job at Southern Hampshire University is I actually work with people who want to be teachers, the absolute best job in the world. And those teachers, those people who want to be teachers, and the teachers who come to us at Southern Hampshire University who are excited about teaching you and learning themselves, who keep learning and learning, one of the things we notice about our students coming, whether they're just out of high school or whether they're moms and dads who started something else, they have amazing imaginations. They have great ideas. But you know what they need to bring those great ideas to life? They need some of this amazing technology that you're going to be able to come, when you come to college and you go to university, you're going to be able to teach some of us how to make how all of these wonderful things can take what you're imagining and what we're imagining and make it real. So we're really excited that you're going to be able to come and teach us how to think differently and how to create and imagine, be engineers, be scientists, and we're going to be counting on you to help us with that. So congratulations on this wonderful experience and opportunity, and we're looking forward to watching you learn and grow and then turning around and helping teach us those same skills that you're getting. So
Thanks for
thank
being
you.
here, Kathy. Let's give her a round of applause. Well said. Okay, so we're going to spend the next 15 minutes or so engaging with some of the stuff that's in the room. Everyone's already sitting in your work groups. There's a coding activity over here, a sketch activity over here, robots and robots over here. So we want you to get your hands dirty, students. Get to meet and hang out with some of our special guests, ask them questions, enjoy each other for about 15 minutes. At the end of the 15 minutes, we're going to do about a 5-minute debrief, a group photo, a special unveiling tradition that we have, and then we're going to go join the rest of the school for a pep rally in the gym. Sound good? All right, let's roll. Let's put some music on and enjoy.
And then you saw that cat just going. Pretty cool.
Just by using your finger. That's awesome.
So come back to there.
You have to search your on Safari.
Are you on?
Okay.
Are you on?
Okay. Good job.
So yeah, sketching over here and lucky and back together.
That's very good.
There you go, girl.
Let me see what you can do. Joe, when is that open? Show me.
Oh my God, look at all this. I don't know how to do this.
Keep going. Okay, let's do this
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah, cover
I'm sorry, this you're filming.
That would be your
Not before asking how to use it.
stand for the assembly. First grade student.
First and foremost, are you all working with robots over there?
Yep.
Who thinks they're really good at making that robot go? Okay, so here's what I want to do. Do you want to have a robot race? Okay, so we're going to have Team Dana. Dana, you're going to go over there and pick a student that's going to be your robot master. And we're going to have Team Lucky. And then our mayor came in, Mayor Craig. Let's give Mayor Craig a round of applause for being here. We're going to have Mayor Craig have a captain also of the robot. And why don't you go over, Mayor Craig, and pick a student. And Lucky, you got a student. And here's what we're going to do.
Good to meet you.
The robot. Yeah, the robot.
Hand up for the robot who wants to.
Who can make the robot go?
Okay.
Who can make the robot go? All right, so here's what we're going to do. How fast do these robots move?
The fastest, let me see. The fastest is really fast. Yeah,
Okay.
it says really fast.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's put 1, 2, 3, right? 3 robots. Let's clear out some of the students that are sitting in the way. We're going to start the 3 robots right here on these 2 tiles, and we're going to race around this table. Okay, and we're going to come back to the finish line. Finish line is right here. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do a race. And we're gonna do around the table. So if you're standing around the table, just try not to get in the way. So you're gonna go around the table and then back, and you're gonna touch this yellow peg. Okay. You guys ready for the race? Yes. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Darius, get some music. Woo! Uh-oh.
Okay. Did I have it?
sign your shirt. We get an autograph from Dana over here. We got an autograph your shirt. We got a Sharpie right here. Dave, you said Daniel? Name? Christian, sorry. Christian, let's give it up for Christian. Round of applause. All right. All right, so this opportunity in this room was designed to try to get you all to start to see what you can do with the technology that's being donated today. And you all did a fantastic job. So many incredible sketches over here. Saw people programming and coding video games. We had robots, and in just about 15 minutes you all went from not knowing maybe how to make a robot move or a bug move to doing a race. Just incredible progress. Mayor, what does it feel like to be in your old classroom when you were a student, watching this technology kind of not only be in the space, but watching these incredible young people grasp it so quickly?
It's truly amazing, and I'm so grateful to the Celtics and for Southern New Hampshire University and what you've brought our students. This is the future, right in front of us, right here, and we just saw what they can do in no time with the technology that you gave them, that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So just want to thank you so much, and so grateful for all that you've done.
Let's give it a round of applause. Speaking of technology, I think we sent a helicopter to get our former player that was in traffic here quicker. Part of our 2008 championship team, originally from Oakland, California, an incredible human being, an incredible basketball player, and a guy that makes so much time for young people in New England. Let's give it up for Leon Poe! You just missed the robot race. We're going to get a chance to hear from Leon when we go into the gym for the pep rally. Want to ask a quick question of you, Lucky. You are a graphic artist yourself, and you were engaging with these folks over here around sketching and all that type of stuff. When you were growing up, a lot of the sketching was done with a pen or a paper or a pencil or paper or markers, and now we have technology that can help and aid in that. What are you most excited about from a graphics art standpoint around this generation and what they're going to be able to create moving forward?
You know, it's this. What's really incredible now is the scale of it, because you can work so much quicker with these tools. So much what we had to do was drafting it by hand and scanning it into a computer, then going back and redrawing those lines. It was tedious. It took a lot of time. Now you can draw it straight onto the tablet with a pen. You can take a photo, and the computer can just analyze and outline that image for you. Like, it's creating. It's expediting the process, and so it's allowing you to get things out of your brain and onto the tablet or into the computer so much faster. And so it just allows you more time to create, more time to really take the image or the project as far as you want to go. It makes meeting that deadline and exceeding, the expectations that much easier.
Incredible. Does it help you jump off trampolines higher?
I have not figured out that part yet, but we're close. We're close.
We'll get there.
Ask the kids, something.
Yeah, right. Kathy, did you have stuff like this when you were a classroom teacher? And if not, did you ever do a robot race when you were a classroom teacher?
That would be a no to vote. I can still remember our very first computer and how excited we were, and I couldn't even imagine anything like this when I first started teaching. This is just so exciting, so exciting.
Dana, I know you wear many different hats. You taught yourself, among other things, to build your own house. The house that Dana lives in, he built with his bare hands. And the interior electrical work and all that stuff he learned how to do on his own, which is incredibly inspiring to me because as a human being, just the idea that you don't stop learning, right? No matter how far you are away from formally being in a school and going after a degree or graduating a certain grade, that the learning never stops. So just talk a little bit about like just the mentality on how when you get to a point in your life where you could just hire someone to build your house for you, you decided to do that on your own.
Well, I mean, growing up,
I had like an unbelievable desire to play in the NBA. So every day that desire was just, it was in me, it was built inside of me. So every day I grew up wanting to do that. And once I achieved that goal, and once I retired from that goal, I still had that energy and that desire to want to do something else. So once you set a goal, you reach that goal, you should set new goals. So I always try to find new goals that were almost as hard to reach as the NBA was. So, and that's the competitive nature in all of us, you know. We all have that inside of us, and we have to learn how to bring that out of us, because life is a competition in everything we do, whether we like it or not. So just saying that, just figure out the things you enjoy. If you do that, doing what you enjoy, you'll do it. Wake up in the morning, want to do it. Go to bed at night, wanting to do it. And you'll enjoy it a lot more. You'll do a lot more of it if you enjoy it. So that's just my thing going forward to you guys. That's my, what do you call it?
Advice?
The advice. Thanks, Dave. That's my advice to you guys. Do what you love to do. That way you'll enjoy doing it.
And so think about it. So some of you all in this room may want to do stuff with the equipment that's in this room. And some of you may not, and that's totally okay, right? Use this time when you're young to experience a whole bunch of different things to figure out what your version of Dana wanting to play in the NBA is. What your version of Lucky wanting to be the best mascot in the history of the world is. Your version of what Leon wanted to accomplish winning an NBA championship. Your version of what I love, which is being able to marry basketball and community work together. And if we kept going with all the adults around the room, your version of being a video editor, a videographer, your version of anyone that's in here, it's just about experiencing a whole bunch of stuff when you're young to figure out what makes you tick, right? We're going to get a chance to hear from Leon when we get to the gym with everyone else. But before we break from the room, we want to do two things. The first thing is we have a tradition when we unveil these brand new spaces at schools of having our special guests autograph the wall. So we're going to give them a Sharpie, and we're going to ask them to do something that no one else is ever allowed to do, which is write it on the wall. And the purpose of that is we want everyone that comes after you, you're the first group of students to be in this space. We want everyone that comes after you to know that the folks that were in this room today for the first time care immensely about them and their success, just like hopefully you feel like we gave you the sense of today, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Lucky, Dana, Leon, let's get Mayor as well, and then Kathy from SMHU to go over to the Celtic Shamrock, and you're going to autograph your name nice and big, and maybe come up with a very short inspirational phrase, thinking about the spelling before you start writing. And then all the young people, we're going to have you all come up to the front of the room. Actually, sorry, over here in front of this big wall, and we're going to get ready for a big group photo before we break. Oh, yeah, sorry. Superintendent, we'd like to have you up there as well. So all the young people, you're going to come over here. You're going to get against the black wall. We're going to get ready for a group photo. Dana and Lucky, you guys are going to get in the mix with the young people over here. Let's get ready for our group photo. Leon, if I can have you over here. Mayor and Kathy, you all can go on the group photo. Superintendent will take us home up there. As long as like it. I like it. Hold on, we're gonna wait for the superintendent guy.
Should I get down? Can y'all get
All right, superintendent, right in here.
Are you not tall enough already?
Right here, right here.
This how the doctor told me I was gonna be this high, this tall, but.
All right, so we're gonna look at Scott. Scott's gonna distribute this picture so everyone will get it. We're gonna smile, 1, 2, 3, smile. And then we're gonna look at this camera right here. And we're gonna count of 3, point to the camera and say, "Go Celtics!" 1, 2, 3. Go Celtics! One take, good job. All right, so all the young people, you're gonna head down to the gym with your school staff. They'll make sure you get there safely, and we're gonna be right behind you. We're gonna start a pep rally. Sound good? Congratulations, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon. I'm really thrilled to be here today celebrating this great event. Think the world of your great principal and his wonderful bow ties. There is one request that I have though. I have heard that this elementary school has a special song. And I've never heard it before. So we'll instrument it for me. The Green Acres song. You ready? 1, 2, 3, go. A special guest who I think the world of, Mr. Norton, who is here for a year or two as your principal. I also want to thank and recognize members of our school board who are here with us today. I thank them, they're over here. We have our vice chairperson, Leslie Ront. We have Mr. Peter Parrott. I see Mr. Shea and our friend Mr. Art Beaudry. And I saw our mayor earlier. I know we have to run back to City Hall. And at this time, I'll turn the time over to Dave from the Celtics.
Green Acres, how we doing? I'm sorry. I drove a long way to get up here. I expected a little bit more energy than that. Green Acres, how we doing? We're going to have a blast today. Do you want to meet some of my special friends that came with me? All right, let's do it. The greatest mascot that ever walked this earth, the gold medal dunk champion. Let's give it up for Lucky! Representing Southern New Hampshire University, which is right down the road, and all of her colleagues that inspired this visit today. Let's give it up for Kathy! Don't be shy. You're gonna have to jump off that thing and do a flip like Lucky Road. All right, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it later. We'll talk to you in 1 sec. Our next guest won the 2008 championship for the Boston Celtics. Scored 1 billion points in Game 2 of the finals against the Lakers. Turning into a personal slam dunk competition. From Oakland, California, give it up for Leon Paul! Our next guest. Our next guest.
Thank you.
Love the energy. We have to be able to bring it down so that we can get to meet everybody. Our next guest. From Boston, Massachusetts, Mattapan to be specific, was an All-American basketball football player in high school. Starred on the men's basketball team at Boston College. Drafted into the NBA by the Seattle Supersonics. Played 14 seasons in the NBA, including a whole bunch with your Boston Celtics. NBA All-Star in 1998. Give it up for Dana Bauer! I think we need a drum show to get us going. Let's give it up for Lucky and the JetBlue Flight crew. Let's go! bring it down a notch now. We want to take a second. How about this? If we can settle down, maybe we'll do another round. Okay? If we can settle down, we'll do another round of dunks. Okay. So I want to take a minute to just explain a little bit of what we're doing here and why. We just came down the hallway for a brand new technology lab, a STEM lab, that we're donating to your school alongside a friend of ours. The friend is your neighbor, Southern New Hampshire University, who has literally been there every step of the way over the last 6-7 years. Anytime we want to go out there and make an impact on young people's lives by providing them with a technology lab or a STEM lab, Southern New Hampshire University has said, let's do it. And so I want to make sure we get an opportunity to properly thank them. But in order to do that, I want to start out by asking a question. Kathy, representing all of our colleagues at SNHU up the road, what does it mean to you when you look out and you see a gym full of young people like all of these folks, with how enthusiastic they are, with how smart and capable they are? What does that mean to you as a neighbor to this community, part of this community? And then the second question is, why? Why take the time? Why take the resources to be able to give back in the manner in which you have? Let's give it up for Kathy from Southern New Hampshire University.
So the question of how excited are we to be part of this? We are so excited. This means so much to us as your neighbor. I will tell you, Green Acres has a special place in my heart. My children went here. I have a grandson here in 2nd grade. So the opportunities that you're going to help create for us at Southern Hampshire University, for our community, our city of Manchester, be able to envision and imagine and make it happen. And we're excited that we actually get the opportunity. We hope to keep coming back to visit so you can show us the amazing things that you're creating with these tools, because we know you will. We know you have great ideas, great imagination, and we're just excited that we can be part of helping you make that come to life. So thank you for letting us be part of this. We're really, really excited.
Let's give it up for Kathy. Thank you so much. Thank you to Libby, and thank you to Steve, and everyone else from Southern New Hampshire University that joins us and supports us in this, and as we do this together. It's really a privilege. Thank you all. All right, let's hear from Dana and Leon for a second. So I'm going to start by asking you both the same question, and then you guys can kind of play off each other and answer it. Turn the clock back to when you were in elementary school. When you're in elementary school, you do some things really well, and you also make some mistakes. We all do. If you could go back in time and give your elementary school self a piece of advice that you think your elementary school self would actually listen to, what would that piece of advice be? And let's try to share that with the next generation. Let's give it up for NBA All-Star David Barnes.
My advice would be to, if I wanted to be great at anything, right? When I was in your age, at 3 years old, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I went to a basketball game and I watched someone play basketball. My dad actually played basketball when I was 3 years old. And I said, every single day, I want to play basketball so I can be like my dad, better than my dad, and make it to the NBA every single day. But the one thing that I wish I could go back and do again was my freshman, 8th grade, 9th grade year when I got a D in math and my mother didn't let me play basketball the whole year. She came up to my school, knocked on the door, took me out to class, took me down to my gym locker, put my clothes, my uniform on the gym teacher and the basketball coach's desk and said, Dana's not playing basketball because he had a D in math. And I had never gotten below an A or B before. But because I went to a new school and I thought I was a cool kid, I wasn't doing my work, and I didn't play basketball the whole year. And I practiced and I played basketball all day, every day, so I had to sit out the whole season. And from that day on, I realized that, okay, this is the most important thing to my parents. So from that day on, I never got less than a B. Because if I want to be something when I grow up, I have to do all the steps. If you want to play in high school, you can't play basketball if you have B's. If you want to be a dancer and you want to go be a cheerleader in college, you can't be on the cheerleading team. You can't get into the school having D's. So the most important thing I can tell you is, whatever you want to do, you're going to most likely have to finish and have a great education to be great at that. Because, and the last thing I'm going to say, even in the NBA, every game, when I played, we didn't have computers. We would get a book, an 8-page book of all the other teams' plays that we had to study every time we had a game. And the coach would be in the meeting and say, Dana, what is play X? And you would have to know that play. So being intelligent and learning is going to always be a part of it. So that's my advice to you is, take care of your schoolwork, get disciplined in that, and everything else will fall into line.
All right, David, don't go anywhere yet. Now let's hold on to giving you a call. There's a basketball over on that table. I want you to grab, or let me just grab the basketball, and maybe we get a Sharpie with it. And here's what I want you to do. I'm looking for a volunteer, but don't raise your hand yet. I'm looking for a volunteer that has the courage to stand up and come up with an NBA All-Star in front of your whole school and tell that whole school what you want to be when you grow up. And maybe, just maybe, we get Dana, like, already autographed that, and we'll give that to you as a reward for having the courage to step up in front of everyone. You want to pick? You want me to pick? Dana will pick. Maybe a little mood music. Need some mood music. Hey! Come on up here. Let's go around. All right, so Dana, we're going to have your new friend introduce herself, name, grade, and then answer the question, what do you want to be when you grow up?
My name is Amaya. I'm 5th grade and I want to be a singer.
Let's give it up for Amaya. Here's the new basketball. Good job. Let's give it up for Amaya. Let's give it up for Jenna Bowers. Thank you. All right, Chip. I need the chip. All right. So here's what we're going to do, Leon. I know you have an incredible story to tell on a billion different levels. Turn back the clock for me to Leon. Were you ever this small? Just about. So Leon, about this small, was when you were like 2. You were like this big, right? What piece of advice would you give to younger Leon that you would hope that younger Leon would pay attention? Let's give it up for Leon Poe. Okay, that's tough. It's real tough. It's real tough. I'm thinking. Settle down. I'm thinking right now. That's tough. Okay. I was a young person coming up, growing up. I was about your size, your age, a little bit taller. But I was coming up, I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew every single thing. I did not listen to grown-ups. I didn't listen at all. And I didn't pay attention in the classroom when I was in junior high. So me telling
me now telling my younger self is that, you know what I'm saying, I would have told him just to make sure you're open-minded, make sure you're paying attention, you're soaking up all the knowledge that you can. When we have guest speakers at our school, please listen, and just make sure you pay attention and try to apply that to your everyday life. And my biggest thing, the reason why I didn't want to listen, the reason why I didn't listen to the adult figures in my life sometimes is because I was afraid to take steps. I was afraid to put myself out there. And we all have it sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to read in front of a lot of people. Sometimes you don't want to stand up in front of a lot of people and speak. That was me. Teacher called on me, I shy away. Basketball, the same way. They told me to come out here. All right, you first pick. All right, shoot a free throw for the whole team. I didn't want to do it because I was nervous. And then I let that nervousness get to me in school. And so I don't want that to happen to nobody in here. Y'all always take a leap, always take a risk, always take a chance at doing something great, especially if you want to do it and you believe in it. You got to do it. And you got to pay attention and make sure you put yourself out there. Whatever you want to be in life, put yourself out there to do it. And, you know, I can keep talking and trying to explain this to y'all, but I'd rather just show y'all, you know what I'm saying? I need this whole side right here to stand up. Everybody stand up. DJ, give me some music. Give me some music. Y'all sit down. Y'all sit down. Anybody in here dancers, raise your hand. If you like to dance on this side, this is a competition. Raise your hand. All right. So when the music goes louder, I need everybody dancing. Lucky is my judge. East side. All right. Bring the music up. Y'all gonna watch. Let's see who dancing. Hey, okay. What we got? Hey, okay. Oh, I see you. Okay. All right, DJ, cut it, DJ, cut it. Everybody on this side, sit back down. That's what y'all have for me. Sit down, y'all have y'all chair. That's putting yourself out there. Put yourself out there. I like it. Y'all went on the limb and put yourself. Everybody on this side, stand up. Yeah. Y'all see what they had, right? Y'all see what they had, right? Did they match y'all? I don't know. DJ, give me some. Right here. I see it. Everybody can sit down. Did you see my man? It's going crazy over here. So, why I did that exercise is because sometimes you got to put yourself out there. And I wasn't willing to do it until I was willing to do it. That was in my 10th grade year. I had bad grades all the way up into my 9th grade year. And then from my 9th grade year on, I was willing to put myself out there, step out there on a limb, raise my hand in the classroom, pay attention. I went from a 1.8, all the way to graduating with a 3.8 and getting into Cal Berkeley. Can I get a hand clap for that? I just say that to say this, man. Y'all keep believing, keep doing what y'all want to do, be who y'all want to be in life. As long as y'all listen to y'all adult parents, everybody, and just work hard along the way. That's all, because it's a journey. Thank you.
Hold on. We gotta give a ball out that you autographed. As long as we're sure that was your best dancer, or there's something else.
Well, one thing though, look. Who won the dance battle? I didn't even figure that out.
You did a great job, Ricky.
Who won?
Look at
what a fantastic audience. We're gonna dismiss Dana Barrows and Leon Paul. Let's give it up for those guys. Thanks so much for being here. And we're gonna end this show right away. I'll need you all to back up. We're gonna get Lucky and the fight crew a couple more counts. We need you all to back way up. Back way up. Way up. Can't be touching anywhere near the trampoline. You guys need to back up. You guys back up. Back up. Back up, back up, back up. Back up, keep going. Just keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You're too close. Too close, Tom Brady. Too close. All right. Let's end the show right away. Let's get to music. Lucky and the fun crew take us home. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes. Enjoy the technology lab. Have a great rest of the school year. And go Celtics! I think that's your personal let's give them a big round of applause, everybody. There's one more thing before we head out of the gym. And it's for Pennsylvania's Missouri. Okay, can you start that cheer again? There's still no thing. Bunch of goodies, and then the staff is presenting you with a picture of yourself, and we all signed it. Also, in addition, your name is now outside the gym, so every time somebody walks into this building, they're going to see that this is Norton Street. We're going to start with kindergarten and first grade, maybe